Assalamu alaikum everyone. Today we will be doing O levels physics paper 1 multiple choice. The code for O levels physics is 5054. This is variant 11 of May June 2020. This paper is of 1 hour and there are 40 MCQs in the paper. Each question have 4 possible answers A, B, C, D. You have to choose the correct one and record your choice using a soft pencil on the multiple choice answer sheet. This paper is of 40 marks. Question number 1. The diagram shows the resultant R, which is given 3 force, 3 Newton force and 4 Newton force that act on the point P. So the angle between 3 Newton force and the 4 Newton force can be any value from 0 to 90. Which value of R is not possible? So they are asking you to tell a value that is not possible. For this, you need to remember that using Pythagoras theorem, you can easily find out the value of R. So it may be 5 Newton. So you have to tell the value that is not possible. So 6 may be possible, 7 may be possible, but the 4 won't be possible. So the correct option for question number 1 is A. Then question number 2. What is measured using a micrometer? So micrometer is used to measure length. Option C is correct for question number 2. Question number 3, the graph shows the short journey. It is of speed time graph. Okay. On y-axis, speed is given. On x-axis, time is given. What is the greatest speed reached? Okay. The greatest speed reached according to the graph is 3. So 3 is the correct answer, which is option C. Question number 4. A car of weight is given 11 Newton, moves with constant velocity along a horizontal road. A driving force of 5,000 Newton acts on the car. So what force is opposing the motion of the car? So for example, this is a car. It is moving with a driving force of, according to the formula force equals to weight, you can say that it's moving with a force of 11,000 Newtons and a driving force of 5,000 Newton opposes it. So what is the opposing force? The opposing force is 5,000 Newton. Option A is correct for question number 4. Then question number 5. A man with an open parachute falls to the earth at constant speed. The following forces act on it. P is the forward force on the parachute. Yes. So this question is related to the acceleration of free fall. When a man is falling with an open parachute at a constant speed, which is 9.8 meter per second square. So the upward force of the parachute on the man acts. Then the upward force of the man on earth, no. The downward force of the earth on the parachute, no. The downward force of the man on the parachute, yes. So S and P, both statements are correct. So option C is correct for question number 5. Which two forces as are a Newton's third law pair? So P and S are the Newton's third law pair, which is every action has a reaction. Question number 6. A box is pulled up a rough slope as shown. This is the box and the direction of the movement is this. In which direction does the friction of the box act? So friction is an opposing force and it acts in the opposite direction, which would be D. Okay, now question number 7. The diagram shows a motorcycle leaning over in order to take turn to the left corner. What force causes him to turn? The force that causing turn, or you can say the circular motion, is the force towards the center, which would be A. Option A is correct for question number 7. Then question number 8. What type of force causes the Earth to orbit the sun? So the force that causes Earth to orbit the sun is gravitational force. Option C is correct for question number 8. Question number 9. Four objects of different masses are on different planets. The weight of each object on its planet is determined. Which object is on the planet with the smallest gravitational field strength? So calculate the gravitational field strength, weight, and mass are given. Weight equals to mass into gravitational field. So weight divided by mass gives gravitational field. Using this formula, you have to put these values and calculate the gravitational field. So let's do it. 125 divided by 5 gives 25. Then for B, 150 divided by 15 gives 10. Then 220 divided by 20 gives 11. Then 225 divided by 25 gives 9. So option D is correct for question number 9 because it gives the smallest gravitational field strength. Question number 10. Which physical property does not change when a piece of copper is heated? When a piece of copper is heated, the physical property that doesn't changes is always mass. Mass never changes when something is heated. Question number 11. A single metal bolt has mass 34 grams. Three metal bolts are immersed into a measuring cylinder that contains 30 centimeter cube of water. The reading on the measuring cylinder rises to 42. So initially the reading was 30, then it rises to 42. So 42 minus 30 gives 12. And the mass was 34. Density formula is density equals to mass divided by volume. So the volume is 12, mass is 34, and 3 balls were immersed into the measuring cylinder. 3 into 34 divided by 12. So you will get the density, which is 2.8. So just a second, let me calculate it. 3 into 34 divided by 12. Answer is 8.5. So the correct answer is 8.5. Option D is correct for question number 11. Now question number 12. A rocket has a mass m. Empty carries a mass m fuel. The rocket and the fuel travel at speed v, and the engine of the rocket is fired, and all the fuel is expelled. The speed of the rocket increases by 2v. What happens to its kinetic energy? So options are given: it double, it halves, it increases by factor 4, and it stays the same. So the situation you can see is given here. Now using the formula of kinetic energy, we will kinetic energy equals to 1 upon 2 mv square. Initially it was v speed, but it increased by 2v. So 1 upon 2 m mass and v square 2v square. So it would be 4v square m 1 upon 2. Let's take 4 common. 4 1 upon 2 mv square. So initially the kinetic energy was 1 upon 2 mv square. Now it increased by a factor of 4. So according to this, option C seems correct. It increases by the factor of 4. Option C is correct for question number 12. Question number 13. Question number 13 says that a car of mass 1000 kg is driven up 200 meters 200-meter up an incline so that it rises 50 meters vertically. So 50 meters height, 200 meters distance, gravitational field or the acceleration of free fall is 10. What is the energy gain? Now to calculate the energy gain, firstly you need to calculate the work done. So the formula is mgh. Mass is given 1000 into 200 into 50. Let's put it into the calculator. 1000 into 200 into 50. So just a second. 1000 is the mass, 50 is the height, and 200 was the distance. But here we have to put the gravitational field, which is 10. I mistakenly wrote 200. Gravitational field is 10. So the answer comes 500,000, which is option C for the gravitational potential energy. So the gravitational potential energy formula to calculate the gravitational potential energy formula is mgh. Option C is correct for question number 13. Question number 14. A fish is swimming 15 meters below the lake surface shown. The density is given. This is the density 1000 kg. Atmospheric pressure is given, acceleration of free fall is given, total pressure. So total pressure if under the lake, surface of lake. So it's a pressure in liquids. Calculate the pressure in liquids through the pressure equals to density into height into gravitational field. Gravitational field is 10, height is 15, and density is 1000. When you put it into the calculator, so the answer comes into 10, 15,000, 150,000. Now what you have to do is to add the atmospheric pressure into this pressure in of the liquid. So this pressure and atmospheric pressure in it, which is 100,000. So the answer would be 2,500 to 250,000. So which is option D. Correct, correct option for question number 14 is D. Question number 15. The diagram shows a mercury. The tube is open at the atmosphere on the right hand side, and the left hand side is connected to a pressure P. This is the left hand side, and this is the gas at pressure P. This is the mercury. The two heights are given. Atmospheric pressure on its own support a column of mercury with height 756 millimeter. What height of the column does pressure P on its support? So what you have to do is see the height at the pressure P, which is 60, and the height that is 756 minus 60 gives 696, which is option B for question number 15 is correct. Question number 16. In a weightlifting contest, an athlete lift a metal bar of 20 kg fitted with a mass of 80 kg on each end. So on each end, the diagram is given. The total mass would be 80 plus 80 plus 20. Now, the lift from the ground to the height of 2.5 meter takes 0.50 seconds. Gravitational field strength is 10. What average power does the weightlifter exert in providing the gravitational potential energy during the lift? So you can see the continuous questions of calculation are coming between question number 10, and I think it will last till question 20. Let's see. In question 16, it is also calculation. Also calculation, you have to calculate the average power and gravitational potential energy during the lift. Okay, now see. To calculate the gravitational potential energy, what you have to do, firstly, you have to calculate the average power. The formula of power is power equals to work upon time. Time. This formula you will be using in the question. So this work. Now, how will you find the work? To find the work, you are given whenever mass, gravitational field, strength, and height are given, you will use this formula. And if it is asking you to find the power, you will use this formula. MGH, work upon time, means MGH divided by time. Time is given 0.50. This is 5. M is in total 80 plus 80 plus 20. It would be 180. 180 into 10, which is given the gravitational field strength, into height, which is 2.5. So now see, this 2.5 is in meters. However, the weight is in kilograms. So you have to convert this meter into kilometers. You will divide this 2.5 by 1000. Let's put the value into the calculator. So the answer coming is 9. 9 kilowatts. Option D is correct for question number 16. Question number 17. Question 17. A boy is standing by the side of a lake. This is the boy. This is the diagram shown here. Height is given 2.0 meters. The boy drops a heavy stone from the height 2.0 meter above the water surface. Gravitational field is given. The height of the stone is given and gravitational field is given. What is the speed? And they are asking you to find the speed of the stone when it hits the water surface. You can see that only height in gravitational field is given and they are asking you to find the speed. So this is again in high order question, and this is a star question, you can say. To do this question, when gravitational field, strength, and height are given, and this you are asked to calculate the speed, one thing you need to remember is that, let's do it at a point, the kinetic energy equals to the sum of potential energy. So the potential energy formula is mgh. Gravitational potential energy or potential energy, the thing is same, and kinetic energy is 1 upon 2 mv square. Mass cancel. Gravitational field is given, which is 10, into height, which is 2, equals to 1 upon 2 v square. So this v is the speed you need to find. 20 into 2, which is 40. So here was v square, this and this. So we will put root and square is cancel from week. Now let's put it into the calculator. And it gives answer 6.32. Let's look at the options. Yes. So option B is correct for question number 17, which is 6.3. Question number 18. In which situation is energy being released when the energy being released by the fusion of the hydrogen nuclei to form helium? Let's read out the options. First option is in a decay of carbon used carbon 14 used to date an object, no. In radioactive isotope emitting alpha, no. In center of earth, no. In the center of sun. So this option D is correct for question number 18. Question number 19. The diagram shows a block pulled up a slope by the force F. Force is F and the distance is R. The block reaches the new position at the top of the slope. What is work done by F, force F in moving the block to its new position? So it is reached here. Now work done equals to force into the distance in the direction of force. So it would be F into R. Option A is correct for question number 19. Question number 20. Which statement about a mercury in glass clinical thermometer is correct? It covers a much larger range than an ordinary laboratory thermometer. No, it is more sensitive than an ordinary laboratory thermometer. Yes. Option B is correct for question number 20. Question number 21. Which description of a dull black surface is correct? So, a good emitter, good absorber, good reflector of radiation. No. Good emitter, poor absorber, poor reflector of radiation. No. Good emitter, good absorber, poor reflector of radiation. Yes. So option C is correct for question number 21. Question 22. The temperature of the temperature of a body is increased by 1 degree Celsius. What other quantity also increases? So when the temperature increases by 1 degree Celsius, the internal energy increases. Option B is correct for question number 22. Question 23. The thermal energy produced by an electric heater is 3 times is used to melt wax. 3 minutes is used to melt wax. The solid wax is initially at its melting point of 60 degrees Celsius. The specific latent heat is given, which is 220 joules per gram, and the heater supplies 7700 joules of thermal energy to the wax. Some of the wax melts. Now, how much wax melts? To do this question, when there is a state change and you need to find the mass, you can say. So you will use the formula H equals to heat equals to mass into L. This M is mass and this L is the specific latent heat. So which is 220 specific latent heat into mass. You have to find the mass equals to heat, which is 7700. So this 7700 divided by 220 gives you 35 grams. Let's move on question number 24. Question 24 is, which rule explain why a liquid has fixed volume, but do not have a fixed shape? So liquid do not have fixed shape because their molecules are moving and sliding over each other, and they can move freely in the liquid. However, they have fixed volume because the force between the molecules in the liquid is large. Option A is correct for question number 24. Question number 25. A fixed mass of A fixed mass of gas is enclosed in a cylinder by a piston which is free to move. The piston is free to move. What combination of changes to the pressure and the temperature must increase the density of the gas? So density formula is density equals to mass divided by volume. Now pressure and temperature. So volume is directly proportional to temperature. Volume is inversely proportional to pressure. To increase the density, volume must be decreased. So how the volume must be decreased? When volume is decreasing, temperature is decreasing. When volume is decreasing, pressure is increasing. So increase in pressure, decrease in temperature. Option C is correct for question number 25. Question number 26. A light enters a glass block at an angle of incidence I and it produces an angle of refraction which is R in the glass. Several different values of I and R are measured and a graph is drawn for sine I against sine R. Which is the correct one? So the correct option would be only either A or D, not C and not B, because they are a falling graph. Now you can see that when sine R is increasing, sine I is, oh my god, also increasing. However, in D, when sine R is increasing, the sine I has smaller value. So option A is correct for question number 26. Question number 27. A swimming pool is lit by an underwater light. There is an underwater light. A ray of light is incident on the water surface. What is the correct of path of the light? So let's draw the normal first. For example, this is the normal, which is 90 degrees to the surface. Now when the light is coming from here, so it won't be going towards the normal. It would be going away from the normal somewhere here in this direction. It would be bending away from normal as it is coming from a denser to a less dense. It would be somewhere here. So option A is impossible, B is impossible, nor D is possible. So you are left with C. So option C is correct. And when the light bends towards C, it is the case of total internal reflection. Question number 28. Which diagram shows the correct action of the converging lens on a parallel beam of light? So this is clear that options B is correct for question number 26. and the parallel light enters the lens, they strike on a single point. Question 29. Which feature of the red light compared with the violet light? Prism devi- a prism deviates red light more? No. Light red has a lower frequency? Yes. So this is red light, for example. This is violet light. Red light has lower frequency, and however, the violet light has you can say more frequency as compared to red light. Question number 30. What is the ratio of the longest sound wave audible to the human healthy hair to the shortest? Longest to the shortest, which means 20,000 hertz is audible by human and till 20. So to do ratio, you will cancel them. 0, 0 cancel. 2 ones are 2, 1, 0, 0, 0. Option B is correct for question number 30. Question 31. Ultrasound is used to clean jewelry in liquid. What is another use of ultrasound? So it is prenatal scanning. Then question number 32. The bar magnet and the various non-magnetic and the demagnetized metal bars are placed in different arrangements, in which arrangement repel. So in the option D is correct, as not same poles repel and different poles attract. Question number 32. There is a varying current in the coil of the loudspeaker. The loudspeaker is producing the sound and the magnet is clamped. What is vibrating to produce sound? So the things that are vibrating is the coil and the cone. So the sound is produced. Option D is correct for question number 33. Question 34. Two insulated charged uncharged metal sphere as X and Y are touching. A positively charged rod is held near the X and then sphere were moved apart. Now X is negative charge. When here is the positive rod, X would be negatively charged. Now when there are negative charge on X, there would be positive charge on Y of the same size. Option D is correct for question number 34. Then question number 35, it says that a stationary negative charge in an electric field experiences an electric force in the direction as shown. So the electric force is at the direction which is towards the right. Now this is an electron. What is the direction of the electric field? The electron always have the opposite direction. If it is towards right, then the direction would be towards left. So option A is correct for question number 35. Question 36. A battery consists of three identical cells in parallel. What is the unit of the electromotive force? EMF, and what is the EMF of the battery equals to? So the unit for EMF is joules per coulomb, which would be A or B. And the EMF of the battery is equal to, in the parallel, is the EMF of one cell. So option B is correct for question number 36. Question number 37 says the nucleotide notation for an isotope X is A. You can see this isotope X, A and Z. How many neutrons are there in the nucleus? So it would be A minus Z. A is the neutron number, Z is the proton number. So neutron number consists of proton plus neutron. Z is the proton. A minus Z gives the neutron number. Question 38. A radioactivity is used in several activities that take place in hospitals. Which activity never uses radioactivity? Cooking meals. Option A. It doesn't use radioactivity. Question number 39. The carbon C14 6 is a natural isotope, radioactive isotope of carbon present in all living things. It has a high half-life of 5700 years. How old is a bone that is found to have only 1 upon 4 of the natural proportion of carbon of this carbon? So what you have to do, you can consider that first half life is, for example, n, then it becomes n2, then n4. So here are two half life. To 2 into the age is given here. The half life is given this much. When you multiply this by 2, you get the answer 11,400 years, which is option B. Question number 40, last question of this paper. A kettle is connected to 240 watts main supply using a plug of 3 amperes fuse. So the kettle contains water. When it is switched on, the fuse blow. This happens again and again after a new fuse is fitted. Someone replaces the fuse with a nail and the kettle works. What else might happen as a result of replacing the fuse with a nail? Instead of fuse, you placed a nail. What will happen? A very large current overloads the wiring, causing a fire. Yes, so option A is correct for question number 40. So this was all for May June 2020 P11. I hope you understood. Thank you.